Hey guys, so if you've clicked on this video, you're just wanting a quick review on what equivalent fractions are. And so if you look at the name equivalent, you're going to see a word that looks really familiar to you. And you should be able to pull out the word equal. So we just want to see if these fractions are equal to each other. And there's a few ways we can do this. One of those ways is by multiplying. We can also go backwards by dividing. And then we can also do the butterfly method. All right, so let's look at an example. So 1/6 is equal to 2/12. So we want to see if this is indeed the way to work, if these are equal to each other. All right, so I'm going to look at the numerator, and I can do this with I can start with either the numerator or the denominator, totally your choice. But if we're starting with the numerator, I'm going to think 1 times what equals 2. And of course, we're going to know that 1 times 2 is 2, okay? If I can say 6 times 2 is 12, then we're in good shape because whatever you do to the top, you must do to the bottom. Okay, so think 6 times what is 12? Okay, 2. And since that we can multiply the top number and the bottom number by both the same number, some sort of version of 1, then we can equal that these are indeed equal fractions. So this works. 1 times 2 is 2. 6 times 2 is 12. Whatever you do the top, you do the bottom. We can also go backwards with this, and we can look at this as dividing. So if I wanted to start over here with this fraction, and I wanted to see if it's equal backwards, I can say, okay, 12 divided by 2 is 6. Okay, well, does that hold true for the numerator? 2 divided by 2, is that 1? Yes, so that we know that we can either do this multiplying or dividing, depending on which way we want to go. And as long as we do the same on the top and the bottom, then that's equivalent fraction. Okay, let's look at this one right here as well. So if I wanted to do 3/5, and I want to see if that is equal to 9/10. Okay, and you're welcome to pause this and quickly do this and then come back when you're done. All right, so starting with the numerator, I'm going to say 3 times what equals 9? Okay, well, that's obviously 3. 3 times 3 is 9. Okay, looking at the denominator, 5 times what is 10? Well, that's 2. And since this is not the same, we're not multiplying by the same number on the top and bottom. That means these are not equivalent fractions. Okay, so they're not equal to each other. Another way we could do this is, like I said earlier, the butterfly method. And if we wanted to try that, so the butterfly method kind of lets us set up. So if I said something like, is 3/5, is that equal to 6/10? Okay, so the butterfly method says that we can do this little like going straight across diagonally, and we can multiply those together. So we can cross multiply. So 5 times 6, 30. Is that equal to 3 times 10? Well, 3 times 10 is 30. So since 30 is equal to 30, we know that that's an equivalent fraction. So you can totally use the butterfly method to set this up as well. Quickly checking out another one of these. If we did something, I'll use that kind of the example that we did earlier with 3/5. And let's say I want to know if that is equal to 1/2. Okay. So again, using that butterfly method, okay, I can cross 3 times 2, 6. Is that equal to 5 times 1? Well, 5 times 1 is 5. So that we know that those are not equal. And we can show that by putting that little slash through the equal sign. Okay, so there's a quick review. Either way you can do it. You can think of it in terms of multiplying. You can think of it in terms of dividing if you wanted to work backwards, or you could do the butterfly method. Lots of ways to see if fractions are equal to each other. Now, sometimes you only know half of the problem. So, for example, or a little more, and you need to find a missing number. So, for example, if it said 1/3 equals, and all they give you is 2, and they don't give you that bottom number, and they're asking you to figure that out. Again, you're looking at this kind of like the multiplication method here. So you're looking at 1 times what equals 2? Well, I know that that is 2. So 1 times 2 is 2. Again, whatever I do to the top, I must do to the bottom. All right, so 3 times 2 equals 6. And that's all you have to do in order to figure that out. Okay? Doing one more problem like that with the missing number. Let's say that they give you 8/10, and this time they want to know it's equal to something over 5. And so you've got to figure out, how do we get from 10 to 5? Well, I can't multiply, but I can divide. So 10 divided by what equals 5? 2. Whatever we do to the bottom, we must do to the top. And 8 divided by 2 is 4. So 4/5 is an equivalent fraction to 8/10. So sometimes if they give you that missing number, then you can quickly do a small calculation to figure that out. Okay. All right. Thanks for watching and have a great day.